You know what's funny to me about this whole, it's a lot of stuff that's funny about this whole Kyrie and, his quote-unquote anti-Semitic statements. I didn't even make a statement. All he did was share a post. Everybody's claiming he said something and like he sides with this. All he did was share a post. The post, it didn't include no comments, it was no commentary. Like, so there was no way of, it was very ambiguous. Like, there's no way of telling what he thought or what he felt about it. You know what I'm saying? It's the fact that he shared it on his platform, and they claim that the information, that's presented within the book and the documentary has some anti-Semitic claims. And it's so funny they keep using this word anti-Semitic, and only thing that Kyrie is saying, and which is what people within the Israelite, you know what I'm saying, because those are the real, chosen people, the Israelites, and they're not in their homeland today. All right, so, and the only thing he was saying is that how can he be? First off, it's real, like it's logic. How can you be anti-Semitic? The claiming this is what they're doing, claiming that Kyrie is anti-Semitic when he's Semitic. How can he be anti-Semitic when he's Semitic? All right, let's sit there and think about that. How can he be anti-Semitic when he's Semitic? So why is all this mental gymnastics and stuff like that going on? Why are they trying to spin the narrative or change, the talking point and claim that he said something? It's like what it is a straw man argument. It's a straw man argument because they're putting up claims that something that he didn't claim, and then they're trying to. It's just they're not there. The media is really being disingenuous in how they handling it. Anybody that has any ability to think critically would know that this is all the dog and pony show. This is fugazi, man. And then I'm gonna just point this out here. If y'all know how thick that first off that information has been out since 2018 or whatever like that. Documentary in the book, but it's funny how these people these talking heads that want to come on and talk about how anti-Semitic the book and the documentary was and everything like that. What I'm trying to understand is how did you have the time? What did you you should know how thick that book is. You know how fast this whole situation popped out. How did you even have the time in your busy schedule to even siphon through it enough to be able to tell if any of the material that's provided was anti-Semitic? And I'm not gonna lie, it's been a while because I seen it in 2018 when it came out. Because that's, again, I'm an Israelite. Yeah, I was been hip to that information, but and then a lot of it. We know about some of these things from the beginning of the awakening, bro. About these characters and everything. But the thing about it is this, right? Here's what they hate. Here's what they hate, right? If Kyrie is saying, how can what he's saying, how can my fault. His rebuttal, his response. How can he be anti-Semitic, which is they claiming, when he knows where he came from? So he's implying the fact that he comes from Shem and that he's Semitic. So I feel like the reason why this is such a big problem and everything is because then it's gonna it's gonna start to raise the question. Okay, if Kyrie's saying he knows who he is, and is he alluding to these blacks in America, these Negroes, to Hebrews, that they're, quote unquote the real Jews, and we have to, whenever we use that term Jew around, we gotta understand that during the biblical times, they were not called Jews because the J letter was not even invented yet. They didn't use that form of the alphabet, and they didn't use that sound. All right, so it'd be and this the Judean really comes from Yehudin. All right, so the Yehudins, and then from the tribe of Judah or Judah, Yehuda. You know what I'm saying? So, you're only speaking about one tribe, all right? And within that tribe, you know, sometimes Benjamin and Levi was counted within that tribe of Judah. You know what I'm saying? The southern kingdom, all right? So, what about the other 10? What about other 10 tribes? What about the other Israelites? Understand what I'm saying? So, that's a little correction or a little fun fact. Whenever this term Jew has been thrown around and everything like that. So whenever they're using Jew, they're speaking more of this modern day term of Jew, not the actual, you know what I'm saying, what the root word or name, you know what I'm saying, I can't think of the root of it, where it comes from, all right? When they say Jew, they're speaking of this modern term, Jew, and in reference to, you know what I'm saying, the Israelis or these people that you see within the land today that's claiming to be, that's claiming to be Jews. People I said that's claiming to be Jews. So it raised the question, the reason, I'm trying to sit in here and tell you why they mad about it. It raises the question, who then, if what Kyrie saying raises the question, if these black people or these Negroes came over from the translated slave trade, all of them, you know, a remnant of them represents, that they represent a remnant of the scattered lost tribes of Israel, then who are the people in the land claiming to be Jews today? Are they God's chosen people as well? Are they imposters? Are they converts? And so this whole thing brings up that question. It's going to make people have to, go down this rabbit hole, and they're going to find out some information, some very revealing information. So to me, and then I'm like, hey, look, I'm going ahead and I'm putting my thoughts and stuff, everything like that out there. You know what I'm saying? You like share this truth. You know what I'm saying? And I'm gonna say this. And I'm gonna say this as well too, because all right, my whole thing is like, I'm trying not to really go too far into conspiracy theories and everything like that. But what I'm trying to say is, like, okay, on a two-dimensional or surface level thing, I'm side with Kyrie. I'm Mr. Boycott, EBA, and everything like that. But that lowers me, or it makes me think at the, I guess you could say, the level at which this information, all this news and everything has been how it has been brought out. It makes me think at that type of wavelength and everything like that. Like somebody is like controlling my thought by making me believe it's, you know what I'm saying, it's Kyrie versus it's that there's an anti-Semitic issue and everything like that going on, that the Jewish people, or the quote-unquote Jewish people, are really upset about, whatever. Listen, what I'm saying is that, like, because that's the narrative, right? So I'm over here like, okay, I'm thinking in terms of if somebody had control over the narrative, you it's you pick a side, right? So I'm like, okay, I always like to like take a step back and allow myself to not choose a side whenever things pop up in the media like this too, where it's like it's two opposing sides and everything like that. And think in terms of somebody controlling both sides. So I'm like, okay, control both sides. So like, okay, so I'm thinking, okay, what if you're saying Kyrie is controlled op? What if he's controlled opposition? Because I mean, like, there's different claims. I mean, there's claims like, okay, there's people. Whenever it comes down to, Kyrie says he knows who he is. All right, and when people try to, when people have been, I'm sorry, y'all, it's late. Make that claim to being, original quote unquote Jew or Israelite and anything like that. Then it's important that they know how to like validate that. Outside of like, like associate yourself, with the scriptures, Deuteronomy 28:64, what type of extra biblical data, genealogical records, understanding of your history, your culture, and where your people come from, from a individualistic level, for you to actually make that claim, you know what I'm saying? Outside of, and this is the valid, but you know what I'm saying? Like, if you could validate your claim from that way, as well as, what could be soon to be, I guess you could, the general way of defending that, as far as the certain people groups, speaking of the Israelites, how they can't extra biblically, all right? So I said the people group, the Israelites, the blacks of the captivity, them ones, okay, matching, you know what I'm saying, their DNA or genealogical records or any type of documents, receipts, regarding these people groups that were taken over from the western coast of Africa in cargo slave ships and spread to the, North and South and Central Americas. Speaking of them, all right. So if you could, like, boom, 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 like, you know what I'm saying, like, prove these things with receipts. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what I wanted to know is, like, which angle is that? The angle in which you're going with, and solidifying, proving that claim. You know what I'm saying, that existence. And then there's those that so okay, but you had that. And then there's those that they take that and they stay there, right? But they never actually like go into, okay, you find out who you were, your identity and everything like that, but they never went into the actual spiritual system, all right? The spiritual system of the people, you know what I'm saying? So, all right, now that I framed all of that, now it brings it back over to, okay, understanding the spiritual framework of that certain group of people. Kyrie hasn't showed me anything as far as the platform, as far as like, even within this past year, of anything that he's authentically believes in the spiritual systems of that group of people, in which he's claiming that he knows where he comes from. So it's like, it's, in a way, it's like, okay, yeah, you carnally identify as Israelite, everything like that, but spiritually you're not one. And if spiritually, you know what I'm saying, if spiritually you can't be one, or spiritually, you're not willing to partake in the covenant and become and take your take back your inheritance as being part of that people group spiritually, then carnally all that stuff really doesn't matter, because spiritually you'd be serving another deity. You know what I'm saying? And these people groups, has a certain culture, and that certain culture has to deal, has a certain patron deity over. Okay, so was saying that, I seen, Kyrie is either, and he says it himself. He's a searcher, understanding, but he's been searching and dabbling with a lot of new age shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, just to be quite frank, a lot of new age stuff. So that can, if I'm looking to, and this is one thing that they're trying to do, if I'm looking to an athlete as a leader, you know what I'm saying, then, I'm a probably fall privy to a lot of his belief systems and everything like that as well too. And the only thing that I'm saying is that, like, as far as what he's been displaying, as far as like publicly and everything like that, as far as belief system and everything like that wise go, all that does not necessarily correlate back to, him identifying or, taking on that inheritance of an actual Israelite. Understand what I'm saying? I hope I made that clear. All right, spiritualistically, he does a lot of things that an Israelite would not do. You know what I'm saying? Or that's unlawful for us to do. Now, if he's searching, he's trying to figure it out and all that type of stuff, that's totally understandable. However, because, I'm using my words very carefully, but, because of, how, quote-unquote, conspiracy theories have shifted my thinking, and in the fact that I am a critical thinker, yeah, the fact that I am a critical thinker, and I do have to take in various sources of data before just accepting whatever the narrative, whatever like that it is. If I'm thinking in terms, if Kyrie is controlled opposition, then what does that mean? You know what I'm saying? What would that mean? Oh, my bad. Yeah, controlled opposition. What would that mean? Because my whole thing is that, like, okay, the best thing that if the Jewish, quote unquote, Jewish community didn't want to give this thing attention, or they felt like, all the statements and everything like that wasn't true, or they wanted to, like, I don't know, my whole thing, like, to me, the proper response to it had not been what they did, because what they end up doing was giving it, they added more fuel to the fire. You gave whatever Kyrie and everything like that, what you claimed that he said, and all it was a reposting or sharing, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, he did not provide any commentary behind any of the posts. So, like, it reminds me of the Deshaun Jackson thing, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, when he had posted a Hitler thing. So it's like, there's a lot of these little, it's like I don't know if these celebrities and shit like that are genuine, you know what I'm saying, in their postings or the material and stuff that they put out, because you don't really see any signs of it prior to, like, you know what I'm saying, whenever they come out with this shit, and then they end up apologizing about it. Like I said, these are not things that a real Israelite would do. You know what I'm saying? You gonna stand on the shit, because it's like, that's like Christ, and when he's, you know what I'm saying, get ready to become crucified, and you want to take his cross, and he's walking through the city with the thorns and all that type of shit, getting ready to be crucified. He's like, hey, never mind, hey, nah, man, go ahead, kill Barabbas, let me free, like, hey, never mind. So it's like, you know what I'm saying, like, these niggas is not, You know what I'm saying? They're not bearing that cross. So it's like, and it's like all of them do that. Now, I know they have a lot to lose, more so than the average person and shit like that, because of their status and what they've been able to gain in this world. But it's like, what scripture says is like, damn, man, I can't think of it right now. I'm paraphrasing, but like, you know, who shall lose his soul but gain the whole world? Like, or what was the value of, like, y'all know what I'm trying to say. All right, and I'm mad that I can't think of it right now. But yeah, so it's like, I'm like, if these guys control op, you know what I'm saying, and then, you know what I'm saying, what, like, so my thing is like, wow, what it does is, like, it honestly, it makes me, and I shouldn't use the word nervous, because, you know, we have faith, and we put, you know, we have, all things for the Most High doing, the good and the bad, you know what I'm saying? He's controlling all these situations, so there's shouldn't be anything to be fearful of. I'm just like, I'm like, what is necessarily coming down the pike if this is a control, if this is the COINTELPRO, if this is like, you know what I'm saying, the control opposition stunt, to where, you know what I'm saying, they got Kyrie out here, you know what I'm saying, putting heat, putting more attention on those that claim, that the blacks that claim their true identity being the blacks that claim their true identity being Israel. And let me go ahead and say this on it too, and let me be clear, because I'm not one of those. I'm gonna make it very clear. At one point in time, this earth was filled with nothing but melanated people. It's filled with nothing but melanated people. So I won't sit there and make a blanket statement claiming that all blacks are the chosen people of God, or the quote-unquote chosen people of God, or the Israelites and Jews and stuff like that. That's not, when you say that, you're not being accurate. You're not being accurate. Like in many ways, you're not being accurate when you say that. So, and then that becomes an argument that could be easily be torn down. All we're saying is that the original people of the Most High, of the seed of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, you know, and the 12 tribes, when they left that landmass, after it was conquered, you know what I'm saying, by the Romans, you know, in 70 AD. They were melanated people. Like, they were a predominant, you know what I'm saying? Okay, the mixed multitude, or whatever like that. Yo, regardless, if you understand that how these nations become a nation, and that it starts with a family, that family was melanated, all right? And that's all that people are saying. And guess what? The sister cultures, I mean the other nations of people that surrounded them, that didn't believe in their God, or they have this same belief system, like the Canaanites, the Amorites, the Hittites, the Cushites, or quote unquote ancient Egyptians or Cometians, the Sumerians. The Sumerians, guess what? They were all melanated people too, and they didn't have the same belief system. So I'm like, you know what I'm saying? Let's go ahead. I'll drop that gem right there in that video too, because this, like, to let you know, this is not about no black. We're not gonna make this about a black versus white thing either. All right, and this is not no anti-Semitic thing either. This is the pro-truth thing. So I hope I said something that provided some clarity for those out there that has the ear to hear and want a little bit of wisdom on this situation. You know what I'm saying? That's all I gotta say, man. Peace and shalom. I'm a real Israelite. Shalom.